In this video, we're at the SMMT test day at Millbrook Proving Ground in Bedfordshire. To give you an idea of what it's like, basically we're given 20 to 30 minutes depending on the manufacturer to have a look around the car. That includes inside, outside and driving the car, and just generally trying to give our thoughts and opinions on that car to you guys and letting you basically know what we think about it. It's all very fast paced, very quick, so the following videos will reflect that.
We are here today with Joseph from Lloyd Vehicle Consulting, so head to his channel to see some of the videos from today's event as well.
Oh my, am I excited about driving this one. I think I've made it fairly plain on the channel in previous videos. I'm incredibly excited about the Honda E. I just love it. I think Honda have done a superb job with the styling. It's very retro. It harks back to the original Honda City, but it also stands out as its own thing. So this is a 21 reg Honda E Advance. The Honda E came to the UK in the summer of 2020 and was unveiled in 2017 at the Frankfurt Motor Show. The concept was completely and utterly mind-blowing. Everybody there seemed to love it. Journalists, the general public, everybody just seemed to love the cutesy looks of this car. And when it actually came into production a few years after being shown off at the Frankfurt Motor Show, it's remained, or retained at least, the majority of the fancy things that made it so popular at Frankfurt. It did lose the light up badges that it had because legal things stopped that from happening, but either way, it's a stunning looking thing. It's so unique and I just love it. The fact that you've got your charging port just here on the front. You might have to press the button on the key to get that to open, but I'm not going to press too hard because obviously I don't want to break it and upset Honda too much. The 0 to 62 of this car is 8.3 seconds, top speed 90 miles an hour. Max power is equivalent to 152 horsepower, 113 kilowatts. The starting price right now of this car is £34,420. It's a 31-minute charge time on a 50 kilowatt charger from a low battery indicator on the dashboard to 80%, so really not that long. Inside you get 4 seats, Isofix child points, and on the front here, because it's obviously designed to be a bit more of a city car, 9.2 metre turning circle. The Honda E is quite different to other previous Honda motors in that it's designed to be electric from the ground up. On paper you should be able to get 138 miles from a charge. 4-star Euro NCAP safety rating. There's inside the boot, that's 171 litres of space. With the seats folded that does increase to 861. It's not a huge boot by any means, and underneath there I think is really not a lot. Let's have a quick look. Just a load of storage points for various things. However, the cables seem to be on top, but that might just be for ease for them here because the Hondas, they got 2 of these here and they seem to be revolving quite quickly because these cars are incredibly popular to the journalists here today. Generally struggling to reach. It's not very kind to those who are not very tall, evidently, with that. It's disappointing this car doesn't have the gas hob wheels, but the other Honda that is currently on charge does. So at least there's that. At least I've got that that gas hob fill today. The charging port on this is CCS. AC power is 6.6 kilowatts. Charge time 0 to 105 miles with AC power is 5 hours and 15 minutes. Just going back to the back of the car, I mentioned the boot size and boot space and everything else like that, but if you want to add a bit more practicality to your Honda E, if that boot space is really not enough for you, then I'm sorry, this car is probably not for you. You can't get a roof rack for it, which means you can't have a roof box, and it's got no towing capability whatsoever. There is no tow bar available for it, and it's not been signed off to tow anything. But that's the disappointing side of this. The range obviously is not brilliant, and the boot space is pretty small, but inside of it it's quite unique and different. If we have a look in here, we've got like a wood style dashboard, which is really quite different. I believe this is recycled wood, I think, as well. This, I'm pretty sure, is recycled anyway. The fabric on the seats, I'm also fairly confident that it's waterproof as well. Instead of obviously having conventional door mirrors, you get little cameras just on the side there, and they show up on this screen here, and obviously got one on the other side. And then you've got this massive screen that goes all the way across, which is actually quite fun. Not quite sure how you turn that on yet, but we can investigate that when we turn the car on. Pretty sure you can get like a fish tank effect on there, which is really very fun and shows the more fun side of the car industry. There's a lot more companies doing that sort of thing these days. If we press here, that's how you get into the back of the E. It's one big long bench seat with no real humps in there, neither in the floor. Of course, being electric, you don't need a exhaust tunnel. You got a bottle holder just here, handle obviously, electric window. The fabric on here is fantastic and marvelous, and it's brilliant. This way you turn your lights on and off, obviously in the roof. Those are very neatly and tidily tucked in. It doesn't seem to be 60-40 split fold rear seats in this, so it's either all or nothing. But that's okay. You do get a sunroof. But I don't think I can hold off any longer, really. I want to take this out for a spin. Genevieve's still getting different angles of this car. She has been all day with all the other cars we looked at for both Fuel Power and for Lloyd Vehicle Consulting, who's making his own videos from this event, so don't forget to go and check his videos out. What's quite fun and interesting is you get obviously 12-volt cigarette lighter type socket. You get a 3-pin plug socket as well, which is different and slightly odd, because I don't think anybody's ever thought what I really need in my car is a 3-pin socket, but nonetheless the Honda E has it, so if you're looking for that sort of thing, there it is. But yes, I don't think I can hold off any longer. I really want to take this car out for a drive. We are now underway in the Honda E, and in case you can't tell by my face, I'm loving this car already. I think it's brilliant. Honda really have nailed the styling with this on the outside. Genevieve's having a bit of fun with the with all the touchscreen stuff on the front, or on the dashboard at least. But I'm really liking this car. The first thing to note that is really rather strange to me, as we get directed by this marshal onto the city section, which is where we're taking this car, because this is where it's likely to be most of the time, is that it's very weird not having conventional door mirrors. I'm trying to get used to having the cameras on here, because of course you're looking at 2 screens either side, but it's really weird.
They're almost too far in.
Yeah, they are almost too far in, but at the same time they're not. I don't know how to describe it. They have enough angle on, but they're also a tiny bit too narrow as well. It's kind of a weird sensation, but it could just mean me not being used to it. If you're hearing any little beeps and buzzes in the background, it's Genevieve playing with the buttons on the E, and I can't say I blame her. I want to very much as well. But so far, what I can tell about this car is it handles very well. Electrical pickup, my word, that's quite impressive. Going through this like little slalomy area. It's got quite a quick steering rack on this actually, and the suspension's fairly responsive as well. In fact, it's not just fairly responsive, it is very responsive. Go around here, chuck it into this corner, cut this corner a tiny bit, and then back into sensible mode. The suspension is, I guess, on the firmer side of what I was expecting in this car. However, it's not at all bad. The wheels are quite large on this car. I believe they're 16-inch wheels, and although they're not massively low profile, they're low profile enough to be a bit sporty as well, which means you can really throw this car about. The one thing you really do see in here that massively appeals to me, at least, is just how open this car is inside. And it's even got flappy paddles as well. I've literally just spotted that whilst driving around. It's got flappy paddles. Oh, that's good fun. I wonder how you can get onto those. Anyway, just down here, you've got all your driving modes. So if I put that, oh, we're now into sport mode. So you got two modes, you got normal and sport, it would seem. More sportier mode of this car. And pickup is almost instant with this. I think it's actually firmed up the steering ever so slightly. It's not a massive thing to notice right at this particular moment, but it does seem to be a little bit quicker. And the brakes are really, really responsive. I'm really loving this car. I've been fortunate enough today that I can drive quite a few cars which I wouldn't usually get the opportunity to. And the Honda E has been high on the priority list for cars to drive for quite some time. And I really can't say I'm disappointed by it. I'm absolutely thrilled with this. This is great fun. The seats are comfy with padded bolsters on the side which really hug you in place. However, the base of the seat does have an element of firmness to it. The pedals have good spacing with loads of room to rest your left foot, and despite the grey fabric on the seats, the lightly coloured wood style dashboard combined with the large windows that let in lots of light, especially with the sunroof cover pushed back, makes it feel light and airy inside. The main rivals of the E are the also very retro inspired and styled, as well as chic nonetheless, Fiat 500e and Mini E, both of which offer a larger boot, but in its favour, the Honda is the only one out of the Fiat Mini and Honda to have 5 doors for the extra ease of getting in and out of the back. It's an adorably cute thing, the Honda E. The interior is roomy and the aquarium in the dashboard is a huge novelty. The use of cameras instead of conventional door mirrors narrows the car down, which is ideal for the narrow city streets of many older towns and cities in the UK. But the turning circle in this is the highlight for city driving. Okay, the Corsa on here today isn't fully representative of urban driving conditions, but the steering in this just makes the idea of darting about tight and narrow streets hassle-free. I love it. I just can't not love this retro-inspired styling that I find so refreshing. 138 miles of range doesn't really sound like a lot outside of major urban developments, but it is more than enough for the average city driver commuting to the office and back again every Monday to Friday. This car has been an absolute delight to drive. I've seriously enjoyed my time driving this. Okay, not been driving much more than about 30 miles per hour, but even so, it's a wicked little car to drive. I love this one. I'd quite happily have one of these cars in my future garage. The only real downsides to it are, of course, that boot space and the range, really, and the lack of any extras to be able to have a tow bar or a roof box. I've enjoyed my time in this, and sadly it must now come to an end. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, comment down below, let us know what's your favourite thing about the Honda E, and of course if you want to see more car-based content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more content on your screens. Of course, don't forget to hit that bell notification either. Anyway, I've been Jay for Fuel Power. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the very next video. Until then, farewell. It's quite hard to do an outro whilst you're reversing, but